Welcome to Amplified, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. First, I want to just say congratulations because you are the new father of twins. Congratulations to you and Chasten. You look good. Fatherhood looks good on you. How are you doing, and how are you leaning into this new role?
Well, you know, it's been great. It's demanding. It's one of the most demanding things I've ever done. We're definitely not sleeping much. We're resorting to a shift system so that we can cover down with our twins. But they're just such an incredible blessing, and also a reminder as I've been able to take some time to really focus on supporting my husband and raising these kids, that every American deserves that. And this administration believes in making it easier to raise kids in this country, which is a big part of the president's Build Back Better agenda.
So yes, we definitely want to talk about the Build Back Better agenda. First, I want to acknowledge that piece of legislation that is so critical to your day-to-day, the infrastructure bill, which has a lot of stuff in there that has to do with transportation, is right now currently languishing, I'll say, in Congress, waiting on a vote. Sounds like there's a lot of support for it, just hasn't moved forward yet. So, go ahead and I would love for you to start off by just talking about how the hard infrastructure package, as I call it, because it's what people generally think about, bridges and roads, of what infrastructure means, is really going to transform, America and so much of the way that, the Department of Transportation is thinking about the future of this country.
Well, that's right. This bill is ready. I think the American people are ready, and my department is ready to put the dollars in this bill to work as soon as the president signs it. We're talking about investments in roads and bridges. We're talking about the most investment that we've had federally for public transit ever. We're talking about the most we've done for passenger rail in this country since Amtrak was created. Support for airports, for ports. A lot of people don't think about ports, but we're thinking about it more and more right now with some of the supply issues that our country is facing. Bottom line is that this will make our economy stronger. It's going to contribute to millions of jobs being created. And it's also going to make this a more equitable country. There are a lot of issues of racial and economic justice that can't be separated from questions of transportation policy, like making sure that more Americans have access to public transit, which Americans of color rely on more often, and making sure that, unlike in the past, the investments that we make in neighborhoods, in cities, in communities happen equitably this time around. That's a commitment of the president and something we could do with the resources that are in this bill. We just got to get it passed and signed so that my department can get to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I can say that I have been really pleased to see, just impressed with this administration, is that it does feel like equity, or the intentions around inclusion, equity, making sure that we're reaching out to people who are often left behind. It's thought about in every aspect of the president's agenda. Certainly Build Back Better overall, and part of what is in the balance here with the hard infrastructure package, of course, is this idea of human infrastructure, and really what some, and I'll call them, frankly, the naysayers are calling just a social spending bill, because it's far bigger than that. It's actually, critical to our country's infrastructure. But as a new dad, right, who understands why one would want and need to have paid family leave, for example, to care for loved ones, or to have new family members enter your life, etc. Like, I'm curious what your take is, as you are knee deep in the transportation policy and the hard infrastructure piece of this,
yeah,
but also, of course, a proponent of the overarching bill of Build Back Better. I'm curious what your thoughts are about the pairing of the two, and if you think that we're going to be able to move forward with the connections there.
I think so. I think they're naturally connected because our lives are connected, right? And as you're going about your daily life, you don't think about transportation to and from work one day and then housing the next. Certainly, the bills come at the same time, the needs arrive at the same time. So we should have a policy that handles all of these things at the same time, and that's what the president has put forward. As you say, my lane is more around transportation, the so-called hard infrastructure or physical infrastructure of our country. But I'll tell you, as a member of this administration, and just as a new dad, I'm thinking a lot about the need to make it easier and more affordable to raise children in this country. That's why the bill has a vision for things like pre-K, early childhood education, making childcare more affordable. Leave, something that people in most countries can already count on, but not in the United States. And I think a recognition that caregiving is work. It's one thing I've been reflecting on a lot. It's joyful work, it's meaningful work. but it is work. And I don't think our economy or our society has treated it that way, largely, frankly, because it's been viewed as so-called women's work and perhaps less valued. But let's be very honest about the fact that taking care of children, taking care of elderly relatives, that's very much work that should be supported as such by our country, and that's part of what the Build Back Better agenda does.
You know, what's interesting to me, Secretary, is that all the things that you're saying, I deeply believe in. I mean, I know they to be true. I happen to consider myself more progressive. I know that President Biden has always been a pretty moderate guy working across the aisle. You yourself come from Indiana and work across the aisle with people of all stripes, right? So to me, this isn't an issue of conservative versus liberal, but I wonder then, why are the moderates holding this up?
Well, I can't just speak to what's on the minds of different members of Congress other than that we're urging them to work with us to see this thing through. What I will say is, I think there are moments in time, moments in the life of this country when the pragmatic thing to do is also the bold thing to do. You know, you look back at the New Deal, FDR wasn't known as an ideological guy. The New Deal arose because that was just what it took to meet the moment. And yes, it was bold, visionary, ambitious, shaped the next era. But it wasn't something that was all thought up in advance. It was what it took to meet where America's needs were. I think that's true now, too. America's needs are great. In infrastructure alone, we got more than $1 trillion backlog. So the very practical thing to do is to think big and act big. And I think that's where, especially within my party, more moderate, more progressive legislators and thinkers can come together and share that sense of urgency about getting something done.
Before we go, I want to shift gears a little bit, and I appreciate you using the language of pragmatic, because you know what's going crazy right now is the supply chain. And I'm just trying to think about the sensible, practical way to get us all back on track. We've talked on this show about the complications to people's pocketbooks when you have such supply chain crises all happening all around the world with regards to COVID and manufacturing, et cetera. And I would love for you to just talk about that. I know this is right in your wheelhouse, around how we can get things pumping again, because at this point we're all paying for the slowdown. So what's your take on where we are right now with the backup in the supply chain and what we might do about it?
Well, this is something that the president and the administration have been working on from day one, although it wasn't getting as much attention before. Now it is, and that's a good thing, because this is very important. There are a lot of issues with getting goods through our system right now, largely because people are actually buying more than ever before. We've seen demand come back. We've obviously got a long way to go in this recovery, but already our ports are taking in more shipments of goods than ever before, and our workers are handling record amounts of containers and products coming in, and still not able to keep up. Part of it goes back to what I was saying earlier. We have old infrastructure in this country, and it was having trouble keeping up in the best of times, let alone with these new issues of all this extra demand coming in. Part of it's more short term, and that's where we think we can make a difference. Look, in our country, and rightly so, the supply chain is mostly in private hands. We're talking about shops, retailers, truckers, train companies, as well as the ports and the shippers, but all of them need to be working together, and we're trying to get more out of the capacity of this country. It's why the president recently announced that we're going to move as a country toward 24/7 operations at the ports of LA and Long Beach. Those two ports have 40% of the incoming container traffic in this country, but had not been operating around the clock. And working with labor unions, working with the port operators, have been able to secure commitments to do that. It's going to make a difference, but it's part of a whole set of steps and a whole set of pieces in these complicated and global supply chains that are affecting our ability to get the goods we need when we expect them. And as Americans, when we order something, we expect it to come pretty quick.
Well, Secretary, for so many people, your appointment as the Secretary of Transportation certainly reflects the future of where this country needs to go. And I am looking forward to see how you modernize and kind of take this work into the future for all of us. So thank you so much for joining me on Amplified. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Great being with you.